right, welcome to another Friday night episode of Keto Rocks. I'm Jim Hobbs, and I believe down below me is my carnivore co-host, Brian Damaged Forsythe of Kix and Rhino Bucket. And he's joined us. He may have to pop out of here because he literally just landed at the airport, just got in time for us to record this show. So
yeah, stop my airport water.
He's got some stuff to take care of. So Brian, welcome back to Nat. Welcome back home.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
All right. Well, we get a chance to have a special guest join with us. I think you guys know who he is. We talked about that he's going to be on this week, and it's Mr. Jay Hall. He's one of the top pickleball players in the country. I don't know where he's ranked in the world, but I know this for a fact. I don't think I scored a point with him. My partner and I, Dexter, went over, and he was kindly enough to teach us the game and then show us that he can't be beat. So we took our butt whippings with a smile, and it was just appreciative to get a chance to start learning the game from somebody of Jay's caliber. But please welcome to Keto Rocks, Mr. Jay Hall from Pickleball Farm right here in Gold Vein, Virginia. So Jay, my neighbor across the street, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me. And I swear you're too kind, man. I could have swore y'all scored 1 point out of the 3 games we played.
You're being kind.
Yeah,
and I'll take it.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
All right. Well, I was going to tell you. So Dexter said, well, I'm going to go start practicing. So we go back and play Jay. Jay's going to be totally surprised at how good I am now. So he went and played down in, I think, Featherstone out at Veterans Park or Alonzo building for Saturday for 3 hours. And he learned the hard lesson. He says, man, I can't believe these old guys are as good as they are. Because I thought for sure after playing Jay, I go, okay, now I'm in my league here. He says, nope, I have a lot to learn.
Absolutely, man. It's crazy. Pickleball is one of the only sports you can't look at somebody at their stature, at their age, at their weight, and just, kind of prejudge them, if you will, saying, oh, they're older. Oh, they're not as mobile. Oh, they're, whatever, insert word here. And you get out on that court and you're just like, hold on, wait, what just happened?
Well, I mean, and to your credit, one of the first things you told me was the fact that pickleball is 95% mental, 5% physical. And I didn't know, I mean, I understood what you were trying to convey to us, but it wasn't until we got to the court and realized just how far along, and you're like an eagle, like you just keep the eyes, you're reading our eyes. You know exactly where we're looking at, what we're going to do, and you read that better than we did for sure. We were just happy we made contact with the ball, to be quite honest with everybody. And Jay was placing it strategically, and sometimes he was strategically giving us a chance to even hit it. But then when he did want us to hit it, he definitely hit it where we weren't going to be. So that it's a thinking person's game for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I always tell everybody that I, introduce to the game, they always think, man, first of all, the people who are less mobile are like, man, I can't be running around. I can't play that game. And I'm like, nah, it's not even about that, And then, you get these young kids out there and they're just like, man, I just want to run around the court, man. I'm quick, fast. I can get to the whole court. And this old lady told me, she's just like, son, like the game is played at the kitchen line. Like it's played with your head. Like, I'll sit here and tire you out, running you around, working those angles, and you'll be running ragged, and I'll be sitting here, won't even break a sweat, And it took for me to actually be in that position to understand exactly what she meant. But yeah, no, pickleball is a physical chess match, if you will.
Yeah. So for those who are seeing you for the first time, this may be their first introduction to pickleball. Why don't you tell everybody exactly what got you into pickleball, what's happened since then and how Pickleball Farm and what it's grown into and what you see the future of Pickleball Farm. I'm going to bring it up here just for a second so people can see your logo. I think it's killer. I love it. And I'll let you go over the gizmo, the donkey, and the turkey, and pull it all together, because believe it or not, this is exactly, you're going to meet all these characters if you ever go to Pickleball Farm. They're all there. So I'll let you go ahead and kind of share how you got into pickleball, Jay.
Absolutely, yeah. So, well, first of all, pickleball was started in 1965 in Bainbridge Island in the Washington State, and it was started by a family, two dads that just kind of were trying to find something for their kids to do, keep them busy. And the name pickleball, they had a dog whose name was Pickles, and he used to chase the ball, and that's how the name pickleball came about. I was introduced to pickleball about 4 years ago. I was a firefighter paramedic from Manassas Park in Virginia. I was in the gym shooting around basketball, and I heard this sound. It sounded like ping pong, and I peek around the corner, and I see three nets set up and a bleacher full of more mature folks. And I mean, again, I don't come from a tennis background, so I was just like, "What in the world is this?" So these two 70-year-old ladies come up to me, and they say, "This is pickleball. Would you like to learn how it works?" And I say, "No, it's okay. Look, y'all are having a good time. I'll just watch." So I'm off work for 2 days. I go back to work. I'm in the gym shooting around again, and I hear the same sound again. And I peek around the same curtain again. And the same two ladies come up to me again and say, "You don't get to look twice without at least trying it once." She literally grabs me by my hand, puts a paddle in my hand, and says, "This is pickleball. Let me show you how it works." Well, within 6 months, I had been bitten by the bug and decided to chase this crazy dream to become a professional pickleball player. So I started traveling to tournaments, and it got to the point where I didn't have enough time to do the firefighter paramedic thing and traveling all across the country playing tournaments. So, I told my girlfriend at the time, I said, "Look, if I go to the Texas Open, when I come back, I won't have a job." And she just looks me in my face and says, "I'll see you when you get back." So pretty much from that point on, it was go time for pickleball, and I just started traveling all over the United States. I've been to Hawaii, I've been to California, Florida, Wyoming, New York. Actually, I think I've been to more states in the past 4 years than I had been to in the previous 31 years of my life. For some perspective of how far pickleball has taken me thus far. So once I left the fire department, my wife and I were like, "You know what? Let's purchase a farm." We started looking for property. We found a 10-acre farm in Goldvein, Virginia, where, I mean, it was literally the perfect property. 10 acres, it's got a 2-acre pond, big barn, all fenced in. And our goal with this property was to be able to bring families out, bring kids out, introduce them to things that they may or may not have necessarily had an opportunity to be introduced to. Teach them, fishing, teach them farming, teach them pickleball. Or last year we actually fundraised about 30 grand, and we're able to put in one permanent pickleball court with fencing. And at the farm, we've got hopes to eventually put in a few more. But we do, kids spring break camps. We give lessons. We're just going to be an oasis. And then as far as the farming aspect goes, everything that we grow at the farm is not for sale. We don't sell any crops we grow. We donate 100% of everything we grow to another nonprofit in Prince William County. That their mission is, they go to middle schools every Friday and they give out fresh produce boxes to families in need. So, as a nonprofit, we try to help other nonprofits.
Yeah, I know. I think that's awesome. And that's what made me, when my wife found you on Facebook or online, however she found you, when I read about what you guys were all about, that was awesome. But when I got a chance to actually physically meet you, come out to your farm and see the pond and see the animals and meet you and your wife, and just understand the passion you truly do have to accomplish what you guys are already started, my hat's off to you. Now, if somebody's watching this, regardless of where they're watching it from, they want to donate, how do they go about donating to Pickle Farm?
Yeah, so if you just go to pickleballfarm.com, there's a donate link at the top of the page. I mean, if anybody's interested, the one campaign that we're kind of, I guess, pushing forward, saving up for right now is we got a USDA grant for a high tunnel. Basically, we're getting a grant from the USDA to build, it's almost like a big greenhouse, but we're going to be able to extend our growing season and grow a lot of crops over the winter. And we're also going to turn a trailer into like a mobile refrigeration unit. So like a lot of our lettuces, cabbages, a lot of our more fragile vegetables that we grow will be able to keep refrigerated until we go donate them. Even the hour drive from Fauquier to Prince William, in the summer heat can really damage crops. So, we're just really working on a few things to try to refine our process and be able to donate as much as we can.
I think that's just absolutely awesome. And I already told you, I'm willing to come out and help any way that I can. And I definitely totally want to get behind what you and your wife are doing. I just totally believe in it. Now, tell everybody, maybe bring up, I got your website showing here on the screen. I'm going to click on Meet the Team because I know this is your other half. And then can you see the screen?
Absolutely.
All right. So tell everybody about your dog and about Mr. Pickles and about Charlotte and about Gizmo. Do you mind sharing a little bit about the family?
Yeah, for sure. So my dog is a full-bred, purebred pit bull. He's a big teddy bear. He's about 2.5 years old. This guy is a mess. Well, his name is Bruh. And the reason that his name is Bruh is because we asked our kids what they wanted to name the dog. And they both just started naming off kids in school, like kids in their class. And I'm like, no, we're not going to name them after somebody in your class. I'm trying to teach my kids to be free thinkers, think on your own, come up with something unique. Well, they couldn't. So dad took over the naming rights and we just went with Bruh. But you know what? He knows his name and it fits him. So we kind of went with that. The next guy you got on the screen is Mr. Pickles. He is the resident Tom turkey. He was actually the first turkey that we got when we moved into the farm. He's probably the friendliest turkey that we've got. I can walk up to him, pick him up, pet him. And yeah, he's a midget white turkey. That's his breed. He's not he's a heritage breed turkey, so he's not like a meat turkey, a broad-breasted meat turkey. A lot of the white turkeys that you see are for meat, so if you keep them beyond a certain amount of time, they'll start to go into like congestive heart failure. But all of the turkeys that we have here on the farm are not meat turkeys. They are all heritage breeds. Next we have Charlotte. We call her Hurricane Charlotte for a good reason. So we got Charlotte when she probably was about 10 or 15 pounds. She's about 2 years old, and she's, if I had to take a guess, anywhere between 6 and 650 pounds. She is a Hampshire and a Berkshire cross, and she is just a pet. She likes belly rubs. She likes snacky snacks. She likes to roll in the mud. She likes to break out of fences. She likes pumpkins, and she likes to break out of fences. That's for sure. Next, we have Gizmo, who is a mini donkey. His back stands about 36 inches high. He likes to chase our goats, so we have to actually keep them separate. But fun fact, mini donkeys live to be 45 years old. And wow. Gizmo is only 3.
Oh my. And well, they must live very similar. Like we had a miniature pony, and it ended up living to 40. It lived 45 years, literally 45 years. Penny the pony lived 45. So brother, you got a long relationship with this donkey. or this.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he's going to be around a long time. Now, you got to share this story before we get back to pickleball. I definitely want to get back to pickleball, but Jay's got a hunting story up in his tree stand, and he's got a video that's gone viral on YouTube. I think he's got over 12 million hits. Is that correct, or is it more than that?
Combined, it's over 100 million.
Oh, so
yeah.
You need to go to YouTube. I don't know how you find it. I did find it. I did look at it, and it is hilarious because I don't know what that turkey's name is, but that turkey looks like a wild turkey and actually flew up while he was trying to hunt up at his tree stand, and you got him, you pushed him away to go back down, and he came back up again. He wouldn't leave you alone. And even the day that we were there, you were carrying him around with you because he kept following you around.
Yeah, for sure. No, so it's actually happened a couple times, and we've sent in the videos, and a couple of them have been picked up from viral, like Viral Hog picked up a couple of videos. And a couple of renditions have made it to like Fox and NBC on like the viral video shows. But the crazy part is I was bow hunting for deer in my backyard, and it's like, we don't see many. I mean, we see some deer, we don't see many deer, but I had got up one morning and it was cold, and the turkeys actually sleep in the trees. They don't sleep in the barn like the chickens. So, they were still roosted, and I got up, got in my tree stand, and sun comes up, the turkeys fly down, and they see me in the stand, and she just flies up to me and sits on my bow, sits in my lap, starts pecking at my shirt, pecking at my beard, and it was the craziest thing ever. I mean, I have never seen anything like that until the next time I took my wife hunting. She almost didn't believe me. Well, we got up there in the same stand, and the turkey saw us, and she flew up there and she brought another turkey up there with her. So, I mean, it was just absolutely crazy. I mean, you can't script this stuff. It's the craziest things.
Well, I can contest to the fact that the turkey definitely follows him around and literally jumps in his arms, and he carried the turkey around to walk us out to Peggy and I out to our cars. So I can vouch that the turkey truly has an attraction to Jay.
She follows me around better than my dog.
Well, I definitely was amused by it, and even more amused after I saw the video that you were sharing with us or telling us about that day. Now, I'm going to go back to when you first were introduced to pickleball, because the question I hear everybody asking this question in their head: did the 70-year-old women beat you when you first went out to learn the game of pickleball?
Absolutely. 100% without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, beat the brakes off me.
So is that the drive for you to go, that ain't happening again? So did that get you to come back? And at that point, did you start going back to that same court and learning the game? Or what motivated you to get to the level that you're playing at now?
So honestly, when I first started, I mean, when I was working for the fire department, like I hate working out. Like I hate lifting weights. It's boring. It's monotonous. Like I got better stuff to do with my time. So when I was working for the fire department, they wanted us to work out, for an hour a day per shift. We work 24-hour shifts. So, we take the fire truck or we take the medic unit up to the community center. They got, a gym, a basketball court. So all the other guys are in there lifting weights, and I'm just shooting around. I mean, kind of just BSing, And like I said, once I played once or twice, I kind of got bit by the bug and was like, man, I really like playing this game. And I mean, honestly, it started being more of like a stress reliever, and like I was like, man, I just had to play as much as I could. I mean, every chance I got, I was driving to Maryland. I mean, driving to Atlanta, 10 hours each way. I mean, I was anywhere I could get to play pickleball. I mean, it was an addiction. Love at first sight, but it was a good addiction, though.
Now, how did you now? I mean, I know your wife plays, your kids plays. How did you get them to say, "Hey, come on, we got to do this together"? How did you bring them into the fold?
Well, I mean, the kids, it was easy. We don't allow our kids to use electronics during the week unless it's like school related. We don't have cable out here at the farm, so there ain't really too much to do out here. That's quote unquote fun for an 8 or 10 year old. So any warm chance outside, it's like, hey, can we go play pickleball? Absolutely. Get kids back outside, running around, having a good time. Don't got to worry about nothing but a kid being a kid. So that was easy. My wife, she
but
was
they're
working.
good, right? But I mean, they're good. I
Yeah,
mean, I watched them play. They're good.
yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, for sure. I mean, I'm not too shabby of a coach, so I guess we could blame it on their halfway decent coaching.
Now, how about your wife? Your wife, I know she's not too shabby either. So did the kids learn how to play first, or did she come before the kids?
No, no, no. She was before the kids, but she was actually she's still working in DC. That's where her office is, but she's been teleworking from home for the last 18 months. So she's actually been able to play a lot more pickleball than normal. So she plays tournaments. We're actually going to Cancun in February, and she's also playing. So um, you know, yeah, it's a family it's a family vibe.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So these tournaments, I mean, where does well, first of all, let me just back up a little bit, because you got your whole line of pickleball equipment under your name, Gizmo. How does people who are interested, is there a general pickleball site for them to go to in their area to find out where they can play pickleball? And then how do they go about trying to be able to purchase your equipment? How are they able to get your pickleball, your Pickleball Farm Gizmo paddles?
For sure. So my paddle sponsor is Players Pickleball. They're out of Bellingham, Washington area, but they do all of my paddles, and you can find them at playerspickleball.com. They've got the custom Gizmo paddle. They've got the Pickleball Farm paddles, and one of the things that I think a lot of other companies are lacking in is they do full customization. So like, if you've got a drawing that your kids drew when they were a kid, or if you've got, a picture of your animal, or, literally any picture that you want, they can actually fully customize it and put it on a paddle for you. So I think that that's pretty cool. As far as balls go, I get my balls from Oso Pickleball. It's osopickleball.com. And the reason that I do that is because they donate 10% of their proceeds to children's cancer research. I would say that I'm one of the only pros that doesn't do what I do for the money. I do what I do for purpose. So, I've got to support a cause like that over just any other company that's just in it for the money. So yeah, those are the two websites that I would say if you're interested in buying anything. If you're interested in trying to figure out where to play pickleball in your area, you can message me on any social media, Facebook, Instagram. Those are the two main ones that I use. And I can, point you in the right direction. There's also USA Pickleball, which is kind of the governing body of pickleball. And they've got ambassadors in different states, in different cities, and they have compiled lists of events and open play, basically anywhere that there's pickleball in their area.
All right, it's that time of the evening where we get a chance to check in with Mr. Brian Shanker of the Meat Tribe YouTube channel for those meat deals of the week. So Brian, what do you have for us this week?
All right, not a lot of deals out there this week so far. I guess they're recovering from all the past deals these past several months. But first up, Carnes out of Central PA. Their deal runs through December 13th. They've got some choice grade. Now it's listed both. They've got a bone-in and a boneless. So they've got some bone-in standing rib roasts, and then they've got some boneless ribeye roasts. And it says on there rolled and tied. So I'm assuming that they've trimmed it up a little bit and they've put the butcher twine around it for you already. And those are $15.99 a pound. A little bit expensive, but
that's the on sale price?
That's the on sale price at Carnes, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
$15.99 a pound. Yep. That's pretty expensive. Wait till I get to the Harris Teeter stuff, though. I think that'll make you happy.
All right.
Food Lion, their deal runs through December 14th. They've got some choice grade bone-in T-bone steaks. I think they've got the never-ending supply of T-bone steaks at Food Lion. Those are $9.99 a pound. All right, so Harris Teeter, all the Harris Teeter deals run through the 14th. They've got some rancher grade boneless New York strip steaks or steakhouse roasts. And those are, the value pack is $7.99 per pound, and the small pack is $8.49 a pound. And they've also got some choice grade boneless New York strip steak or steakhouse roasts for $9.99 a pound. But they've also,
Is this where the drum roll comes in?
Drum roll.
All right, what we got? What we got?
They've also got the rancher grade bone-in rib roast or steaks for $7.99 a pound, or the choice grade bone-in rib roast or steaks for $8.99 a pound. So this is like what, other than a little time period, this is like going on 3 weeks in a row.
God bless Harris Teeter. That's all I got to say. They are my meetup place. That's for sure.
I can't believe it. And at that price for the rancher grade for Harris Teeter is like select for USDA. And they've also got the choice grade, but you've been buying it. I've been buying it down there at Harris Teeter. Their rancher grade has really good marbling on the stuff that I've seen.
Well, I am definitely heading to Harris Teeter this weekend then, for sure.
Yeah, and so if you do, make sure you tag Meat Tribe, post some pictures or whatever. But $7.99 a pound for the rancher grade and $8.99 per pound for the choice grade. And then another interesting thing, we haven't seen this on sale yet. Harris Teeter also has some choice grade boneless chuck eye steaks, and those are for $5.99 a pound. And for people that don't know, the chuck eye steak, that's basically like chuck roast,
Right.
So it's a fatty cut of meat. And if you're on a really strict budget, $5.99 per pound for those chuck eye steaks, if you cook them just right, I'm not going to say they're just as good as a ribeye, but they're pretty close.
Right.
And I get those chuck eyes every now and then when they're on sale, and just they're usually a small steak, decent thickness, throw them on the grill. You're done in 10 minutes at the most. You're not getting a hockey puck. Make sure you cook it right, but they're pretty good. So that's all I got for you this week.
That's it. All right. Well, are you going to stop by Harris Teeter and stock up a little bit yourself?
I am. I missed out on those. Well, I didn't miss out. I didn't go. We had too much other stuff going on and too much other food that was going to be in the house. But I think I'm going to have to get out there and get some rib roasts and rib steaks at $7.99 a pound. You're not going to beat that. We haven't seen anything lower than that.
No, that's a great price. The only thing that was lower than that, I think Giant had prime rib from some special for one of those. If you have the online app, spend $35. You got it for $4.99, but that's it. But I mean, those are great prices. Those are fair. $15.99, and that's just wow. But the $7.99, $8.99, that's more in the affordable range. I can get behind that, or else I'm going around collecting roadkill. but anyway, hey, I saw you got your smoker and you had a smoking project. How that turned out? It looked great on the pictures you posted.
So for the first time smoking, that was a bone-in standing rib roast. It was 3 bones, and it was almost 7.5 pounds, and it took all day. For me, I was cooking it slow at 225 degrees. I was rotating it every half hour. I think because it's such a small smoker, I'm not going to rotate it as much because it's so small. Once you open it up, it loses all the heat and takes a while to build the heat back up. Right. But I pulled it at 122. I had 2 meat probes in it, and they were like 5 to 7 degrees off throughout the cook. So I took it out at 122 and 128 degrees of those two and let it rest for about 30 minutes. And the lower one came up to 130-degree temp. And that's when I started cutting it. And it came out medium rare, which a lot of people like that. Medium rare is a little bit too under for me. So I ate the pieces on the edge, which were fine, were perfect medium. But I was really happy for the first time. I didn't kill it. So, or I did kill it.
You did kill. Well, listen, I'm medium rare, so it looked delicious and perfect for me. So, but great job. I can't wait to see how the next one turns out.
Me too. I'm excited. So the next roast that I'm going to do is I have a New York strip roast that's been in my freezer for a little while. So that's the next one. And there's no bones in that. So that's the next thing big smoking project that I'm going to do.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing what you post and see how it turns out for you. But thanks again for sharing with us those meat deals of the week. And we will see you next Friday, and have a great week there, Mr. Smoker.
Thanks, Jim. Take care.
All right. Take care, Brian. We'll
Bye.
see you. One of the things that Jay's been talking to us about is like, this is the fastest growing sport. So Brian, for example, how does he would go to this website in Nashville to find out where different pickleball play is taking place around him?
Absolutely. Yep. So you just go to usapa.org, and it's literally listed as like places to play. You go in, you click on your state, and depending on the size of the state, it's broken down into cities or regions. And there's different ambassadors that will literally tell you any pickleball that's going on in the city.
That's crazy. And before Jim told me about it, I had never even heard of it.
I love that. That's most people's reaction, to be honest. And before I was in the gym, 4 years ago, I had never heard of pickleball in my 31 years either. But now it's like, it's the fastest growing sport in America. And currently the USAPA national championships are going on at Indian Wells Tennis Garden in Palm Springs, California. So I mean, it's definitely a big deal.
Wow.
Now for these tournaments, how many people show up? I mean, we're talking 100, 50, thousands. How many people show up for these pickleball tournaments that you play in?
Yeah, so the Pro Pickleball Association tournaments, I would say that they average anywhere between 500 and 800 people per tournament.
Wow.
And I would say maybe 2 or 3 of those a month across the United States. And then there's also the Association of Pro Pickleball, which is another pro pickleball tour. And I would also say the same thing, another 500 to 800 people who register for their tournaments. And again, they're on the road 2 to 3 weeks per month. Now for the 2 biggies, the US Open, which is held down in Naples, Florida in April, and then the national championships, which is usually held in November, but this year it's in December at Indian Wells Tennis Garden, you're talking well over 2,000 people.
Wow.
Wow.
Now,
just competing. And then you got spectators and vendors and all that stuff on top of that.
Now, how long does a tournament last? I mean, is it a whole week? Is it a 3-day process? I mean, that's a lot of people to get through.
So most tournaments, if it's a bigger tournament, will start on like a Thursday, and you usually have your senior events, or your crew who isn't working, your retired crew. They can, they don't have to take off work, so like they'll play Thursday. Usually singles will be Friday, and then you'll have men's doubles and men's and women's doubles on the same day, and then mixed doubles on the next day. So most regular size tournaments are 3 days. The bigger ones are 4 days, but US Open and Nationals, you're talking 7 to 10 day events. I mean, it's like, wow. It's a big festival.
Now, one of the things, why don't you share with everybody who's not familiar, like Brian's a great sample of what most of America has never really heard of, even though it's the fastest growing sport. What was the average age of a pickleball player when you first got into this sport?
68.
Wow. And Brian, the first time he played was with some 70-year-old women, and he lost. Jay,
Wow.
Badly.
And so now, since you've been in the sport and it's getting recognition, you said what's the average age now of a pickleball player?
I want to say went to the high 40s.
High 40. So 48, 49, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that would be my guess. But it's crazy because I mean, like me personally, I'm taking it into the school system. I'm taking it into the juvenile detention centers. I'm doing a lot of grassroots stuff at the younger age, and they're really trying to make a push to try to get it into the Olympics. And the more recognition we can get the sport as a whole, the bigger demographics, I think that can potentially be introduced to it, who again would have never even heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, has Shannon ever heard of the sport? Brian, did you ask Shannon if she heard of it?
I did not have a chance to ask her, but I will.
Well, Jay was sharing that literally you can get whatever. You could have Brian damaged Forsythe paddles to go along with your coffee mugs that people can play with out there. So they'd be whacking the pickleball with your face.
I'll have to think about that.
But what do you recommend for a family who's never heard of the sport? I know they got to go to the website, but what's some of the tips that you would give them?
So pickleball, the one thing about the sport is it's super welcoming. It's at the beginner and introductory levels, it's very inclusive. It's very people love to teach people pickleball. So the craziest thing is, like, if you just show up to a park where that there's pickleball that's being played, you don't even have to have any paddles. You don't even have to have any balls. I guarantee you there's going to be people there with extra paddles in their bag and extra balls, and will want to teach you the sport. And the crazy thing about pickleball is it's one of the only sports that, under 8 to over 80 in 10 minutes or less, the rules can be taught to somebody and you can be out there having a good time, laughing, joking, playing with your grandparents, playing with your parents, your kids. That's what I would say. Just go to the park.
Now, I will tell you, I took one of my good friends with me out. I'm not going to name his name because I don't want to embarrass him, but he came along with me. And so it was my friend and I playing Jay by himself in this small court. And I am only thankful that I had a partner to take care of the other half of the court, because while the court is not big, or there's not a lot of real estate to cover, it felt like I was in an ocean. The way Jay was hitting the ball and the way neither one of us could return his hits. It was embarrassing. It was humbling. But it also was motivating to know that I have tons of room to improve in a sport that I instantly fell in love with. I love it. I love playing tennis and racquetball and ping pong. And the biggest shock to me, because I've seen it on YouTube and seen it being played, the biggest shock was the ball is a hard plastic wiffle ball that as a kid used to play wiffle ball with, except it's got a lot more holes in it. And that was the biggest shock to me, was that it was actually a hard pickleball, where tennis is a softball, that the rackets are strong, and so they have some give to it. And so that took a lot of getting used to. And Jay kept coaching me during the thing, look, you don't have to kill it. You don't have to. And so it was a lot of getting used to.
It's a finesse game.
Yeah. So
yeah. Is your buddy okay? Because remember, he took that spill in the beginning.
Yeah, he's fine. Like I said, he went to go play that Saturday for 3 hours, and another humbling experience, because he says, man, I'm playing Jay, and I felt like there's no way I'm going to lose to some 70-year-olds, but just like you, Jay, he went out there and got humbled by the 70-year-olds, because as you said, it is a mental game. It's a finesse game. And, just because you're younger and faster does not mean you are the better player or the better opponent. So it definitely takes some learning to learn what to do as opposed to what not to do.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know, and the other thing about pickleball, you know, people will rush out to get pickleball equipment. Like I said, people usually have extra stuff, but there is, you know, it's on personal preference. You'll find, you know, what paddle you like. You know, there's just like tennis rackets. There's hundreds of different, you know, manufacturers, weights, different materials that they're made from. You know, I guess the thing is, like I said, just try them out, and then once you find one that you like, you know, then you can go online. I mean, yes, they sell them on Amazon. There's Pickleball Central, which is another website, which is kind of like the Amazon of the pickleball world. And they carry all of the big manufacturers and name brands and stuff like that. So, yeah. And then, so like there's like $200 paddles, but then there's also like $14 paddles. So I will say you get what you pay for, but I will say don't just go buy a $200 paddle out the gate. Please don't do that.
Well, I plan to come over to your place and pick up the beginner's racket. Whichever gives me the best chance of hitting the ball without killing myself. I want the Fat Daddy. I want that one that's got the farm logo on it, the biggest one. Then I'll work my way up to the more advanced paddles.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got one with your name on it here.
Now, Brian, this is the places. Jay travels all over the world. He's going with his entire family in February to, where are you going, Jay?
Cancun
for a tournament with his 2 kids and his wife. So, man, that's gonna be the perfect time to get out of this area with the cold weather and have some nice warm weather.
Yeah, she said I couldn't go alone, so you know I was forced to take her.
Well, I think that's just awesome. Brian, I know, not being a sports person, do you have any questions in regards to pickleball? Did you get a chance to Google it and learn a little bit about it?
You know, I should have done that, but I didn't.
He was flying.
I Googled it while we were on here and just saw it, but I didn't want to get distracted from the podcast. But I will definitely check it out, especially on YouTube, so I can see it in action.
Yeah, it's definitely a sport that's going to be great for exercise. And, you know, as we said, we talk about the keto carnivore lifestyle, but we really never get into exercises that people can do regardless of what your age is. And this is such a low impact, great cardio, great just getting the blood flowing, and a great, you know, if you've moved into a new area, you have no friends yet, this is a great way to be able to meet your neighbors in your neighborhood. Like, for example, I didn't even know Jay lives right across Route 17 from me. I mean, it's awesome to be able to go across the street and go to his house and play, you know, pickleball, learn the craft from somebody who's learned it well and plays it well. So I'm literally just blessed and lucky to have that resource. But I truly believe, you know, it's so funny. Celebrate Fredericksburg, which is a huge adult community with a huge clubhouse that's right down the road in Fredericksburg. I just found out that they play pickleball every day. I mean, every day. I forget what hours they play, but they have 3 or 4 courts, and so it's just a great way to meet your neighbors, get some exercise, and help burn some calories, and, you know, tone up the body, which I need desperately.
Well, I introduced this sport to a guy that I met on Facebook and like a motivational group, and I said pickleball, and he's like, "Man, what is pickleball?" So I sent him a couple paddles, and no joke, in like over a year's time, he lost 100 pounds. He said, wow. He called me and he said, actually, I went to Chicago to play a tournament, and I ended up meeting him in person. And he walks up to me, he just starts crying, and I'm just like, what's going on, man? He's just like, nah, man, like, you saved my life. Like, before, like, I started playing pickleball, like, I just used to come home from work, I'd sit on the couch, I'd watch TV, I'd ignore my family, I'd eat like crap. Like I was a fat slob. And like, I mean, he's a bigger guy, and he's still a bigger guy. But I mean, he lost 100 pounds playing a sport that a year ago he knew nothing about. And it's like, he's like, now when I get off work, I'll go home, I get the family, we go to the park, we all have fun. Like, it's a totally different conversation in around the household at this point, all from a silly game called pickleball.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm visioning being able to put together some meetups at these different parks, because you can meet up, play pickleball, and then go out to the grill and grill yourself some steaks and burgers and celebrate the fellowship and just have a good time, and start doing that on a regular basis. And like Jay's going around putting into the middle schools here in the county, in Prince William County, for those here in Virginia. And something else that you haven't, I don't think we've touched base on it yet, which I was really touched by, is you teaching the people who are in wheelchairs and bringing it into the Special Olympics as a sport as well. Can you go on that a little bit, Jay?
Yeah, for sure. So, one thing about me, I'm all about inclusion for any and everybody. And that's, again, one of the drawing factors for pickleball is, it is adapted for a lot of different demographics. And we do have wheelchair pickleball, and we do have hybrid pickleball. So last year I was blessed enough to be able to participate in the hybrid division. And my partner and I, who was in a wheelchair, we took the gold medal at the US Open. So it's a doubles, and it was one stand-up player, one sit-down player. And, again, it's adapted. So just like with tennis and wheelchair, they get two bounces, where the stand-up player gets one bounce. And it's absolutely amazing. From that, I was able to give a presentation to the Paralyzed Veterans of America, to a few hundred veterans, and introduce pickleball to that. We gave away 100 paddles to the first 100 people who signed up. That spawned into me being invited to the PVA National Veterans Wheelchair Games, Olympic Games in Tempe, Arizona in 2022, where they want me to introduce pickleball to the whole, basically all of their veterans that come out. And in 2023, they want to make it an event that their participants can medal in. So, it's a lot of footwork right now, trying to lay the framework. But, we're just trying to expand it any and everywhere we can. And, I don't want anybody to be left behind that wants to give pickleball a try.
Wow. That's just amazing. That's awesome. And if you think about it, it's probably one of the few sports that they get a chance to be able to play, because a lot of those people are in that position because of, they served our country well, and they took the bullet. And so for them to be able to play a sport with other peers and other people of your caliber, and to be pretty much an even playing field, it's got to feel good for them to be able to do something again that they've missed doing. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just like being able to introduce it to anybody that wants to listen. I'm like the kid walking, when they start playing an instrument at school, and they come home and they just start practicing, just blowing the horn. They'll blow it for anybody who wants to listen. And that's how I am about pickleball, man. I want to tell any and everybody about it.
You're the Pied Piper of pickleball. You're going around letting everybody know about it. But I can tell you, Jay and his wife and his family, they're the real deal. They have the real farm. They have the heart to serve their community. And what they're doing at Pickleball Farm, I can't wait to be a little bit of a helper for them, but to see where they're able to take this generosity, both growing food for the community as well as making people aware of animals and raising animals humanely, and fishing and the sport and bringing people together. It's just awesome what I think your organization is doing. So 100% of my support's with you guys.
We definitely appreciate it.
So, well, look, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Brian, you got any questions? Are you ready? Next time you're up here, you're going to play pickleball with Jay?
Maybe.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it's fascinating. So now I'm fascinated. I have to go check this out.
But look, just come to the farm, hang out with the animals, you know what I'm saying? And then just bring a pair of tennis shoes just in case you get the itch to jump out there.
All right. That's a deal.
Awesome. Well, Jay, thanks so much. I'll let you jump on. I know you got another appointment, but we'll put all your links so people can read more about Pickleball Farm, can donate if they want to sit there and help the cause. You got a wealth of knowledge between you and your wife, and I just am so appreciative that you're willing to share it with the masses, and I'm really honored that you're willing to come on and share it with us tonight and with our followers. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, and looking forward to getting you back out here for round 2.
Yeah, I'm bringing my partner this time, and we're gonna have a couple more games under our belt. So maybe we'll score 2 points this time.
I love it.
All right, have a great week, and if I don't talk to you beforehand, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas. You too. See you, Brian.
All right, thanks.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Keto rocks. I love keto rocks. Cured, seasoned, handcrafted in small batches. And it comes with a special side of Dr. Steve's favorite sauce and a free steak knife. Collect them all today. Yum.